Hey everyone, here's Cuddly, Kitwana. If you've been watching my show for the past couple of years, then you probably noticed some items in the background. And I'm talking about the items on the very top of my shelf that have been there for like forever. And that's my collection of Disney dolls. We've hardly ever talked about these, although I've done a couple episodes featuring some individual Disney dolls, but we've never talked about my entire collection that I have. So I thought, why not make this the topic of today's episode? So what we're going to do is to look at my collection of Disney dolls, and it's mainly Disney store dolls. Items like these, and you can already guess from looking at the dolls I have on display behind me that I'm a huge fan of the Disney princess, the Disney boys. They are all so handsome. And here's one of my favorite, Eric. And we're not going into too much detail of the individual items since we have done a couple episodes about Disney dolls. But let me go back to myself and we're going to look at what I've got. So as said, on the top row here, we've got all the Disney boys, and these are from the Disney store. They're all from the Disney store, and they've been made in 2011. So that was pretty early on in when I started collecting toys. I've got these, and that was back then when there were still brick and mortar Disney stores, and they always looked so good on the shelves in the stores, on display there in these cool plastic boxes. Let's see what we've got here. You can see all the boxes are in a similar design. They kept re-releasing them over the years, and it was a different packaging design each year actually, while the dolls stayed largely the same, with the exception of a head redesign in 2015. And sadly, these Prince dolls are no longer available. They stopped making them as the pandemic hit. Probably the sales numbers weren't too great compared to the princess dolls, their female counterparts. Might have been an important reason why they stopped doing them. Which on one hand is sad, but I probably can consider myself lucky that these will increase in value from their around $15 price point that they retailed back then. Now let's see what I've got here. I've got all the princes that they released. We have Aladdin, and it's Prince Charming, Eric. As I told you, one of my favorites. They've got different versions of Eric, as you will see. Flynn Rider, John Smith, another favorite of mine. Then we have Li Shang from Mulan, and Prince Naveen from Tiana, The Princess and the Frog. And you can see his box is pretty much the only box that's got a different design. I was trying to collect all the dolls within a year, but somehow Prince Naveen was never available in 2011. So that's an older box from 2010 or 2009, I think. And then moving on, we've got Prince Philip in his blue uniform, the Snow White Prince Florian, and then another version of Eric in his sailor costume, my favorite uniform of him. That's also an older packaging, as you can see. Then moving on, we've got some of the sets that are actually still available. Some of them in 2025, in May 2025, as I recorded this video, are still available on the Disney Store website. We've got Ariel and Prince Eric, of course I needed to have them. Naveen and Tiana, and this one's a really fun set. Jasmine and Aladdin, these are singing dolls. Love them a lot, and that's a costume version of Aladdin that they have never released before, so I needed to have that. I think that's from 2019 as well. Now, this set is no longer available. And then, moving on, these are some of my very, very favorite Disney dolls ever. The 17-inch versions of the princes. Unfortunately, they never released all the princes, so I was only able to get 4 of them. And I'm missing Aladdin. I think that's the 5 princes, if I remember correctly, that they released. Let's see what we've got here. Man, what is that? Prince Philip. Look how royal and regal he looks like with his shield and sword. And his uniform is absolutely stunning. And the very first one that they released, Prince Eric, it's also had the lowest limited edition number. And of course, it's one of my favorite. Prince Eric is a total hunk, I'm telling you. He's so super handsome. And of course, we're keeping him in the box to retain its value. These have all multiplied their retail value by now, 10 years later, after they released. And over here, the third doll that you can see that I have on display is the Snow White Prince, and actually Prince Florian. It's actually his actual name in the fairy tale. I'm very, very proud of them. They display very, very nicely. They have a big shelf presence. And back behind these, I've also got the Beast, still sealed in its box. But speaking of the Beast, you will see that later. Of course, my favorite Disney Princess franchise is Beauty and the Beast, for very obvious reasons. As a furry, I love the Beast, of course, and also the human version of him, Prince Adam. So I showed you my Beauty and the Beast collection back in episode number 139, so I'm only going over these real quick. We've got the remote control dancing doll set, Belle and Prince Adam. You can actually transform him into the Beast and have him display as the Beast as well. I've got various other dolls of the Beast and Adam. Back there is the Mattel Signature Collection Beast. Up front here, we've got various Disney Store dolls. It's almost like the cast member that portrays the Beast at the Disney parks. You can play like dress up as the actual Disney character performer. And all the way to the right on the top shelf is something that my good friend Kitwana sold to me. My good lion friend from Seattle. It's the medium big fig of the Beast that was sold in the Disney parks. And I've added a 12-inch classic Belle doll from the Disney Store to go with him, since he didn't have Belle anymore. But the base is also original, and of course the Beast figure. Love it a lot. And then, if you were asking me what's the rarest, the most expensive Disney doll in your collection, then there's a clear answer, and that's the Belle and Beast Platinum doll set, the 17-inch doll set. This one here. I've done a separate episode on this one as well. And this one's worth a couple $1,000 by now. There's definitely, if you happen to own this set, mint and sealed box, then you're sitting on a Disney doll treasure. It's the Disney Store set that's with the highest value by now. They look so real, like out of the animated classic. Absolutely gorgeous to look at. Besides them, I've got the 17-inch Beast in its winter costume. And then if you were wondering where's Prince Adam when I went through all the princes on top, I've got him down here. That's the 2011 version that I said could basically dress up as a Disney character, like a character performer that is getting ready for his shift. You can have this doll either as Prince Adam or the Beast, comes with all the accessories. And over here, that's one of the latest versions of the Beast that the Disney Store released. Unfortunately, you can no longer take off his head, so you cannot transform him into Prince Adam anymore. It's too bad. And then over here is one of the few non-Disney Store dolls, which is the Beast to Prince from Mattel, released in 2009. Really love the head. It's actually the better head sculpt than the Disney Store did for Adam. And yeah, I think I can end this video right here. That's the collection of my Disney dolls. Well, of course not. Of course I've got more. And let's see where I've got more, because these dolls are so much fun to play. I've got an entire box of them loose. Yeah, how about that? Would you like to go through these with me as well? Of course, I would love to show you what I've got in here as well. Lots of playtime fun. I love to play with dolls, especially with Disney dolls. So let's see what I've got here. Gonna change camera and make myself comfortable so you can see what kind of loose dolls that I've got. Alright, are you ready to discover together with me what's inside this box? That's the whole rest of my Disney doll collection. Probably won't be able to set up every item on this table, but I'll try to give you a very good overview and show you some items in detail. Let's start with this one. You've already seen that. How these Disney Store Prince dolls were packaged through the last decade, through the 2010s, with Prince Eric. So I kept him in box since he's one of my very favorites, as I already told you. That's the last version of him that they released before ceasing production of the male dolls. Love these boxes, these plastic display boxes. They switched to non-plastic cardboard boxes for their princess dolls, their female counterparts, in 2020. And they didn't make that switch for the princes, so they simply stopped production of them. And I love how these had their animated counterparts on the back, so you could actually compare as to how real the dolls look like, and the dolls definitely looked very true to their animated counterparts. The males went through a head redesign in 2015, so that's the latest version of Eric. If you took note when I showed you the dolls. On the top row of my self-view saw one of the old Erics as well. And it's definitely a noticeable difference. They improved the details of the hairs, and the face mold is now even more true to their animated counterparts. And I think the uniform looks great as well, even though it's got a couple of printed on accessories, but still, these dolls are really cool. As you will see, I've got, of course, all the Princess loose as well, but let's start with a very specific item, a very special one, which is also pretty rare. Look at these. You know that I love model horses as well. I've got a collection of prior horses, and of course a model horse, and a Disney prince, a really very handsome looking Disney prince. Here's Prince Florian, Snow White's prince, on his horse. And this set was released by the Disney Store in 2009. It's actually very short-lived, so nowadays it's rare. It's very rare to find it on eBay. I forgot the horse's name, but I can look it up and show it to you on screen. Look at this set, it's fantastic. It's a regular 12-inch classic doll of the of Snow White's prince, but it's got a couple of accessories like his hat that wasn't present on the classic doll that they sold separately. And despite this princess only having rubber legs, which do not bend as well, I think it fits rather nice on his horse. That's a great looking set for play and display though. Let's see, I'm gonna have that here for a moment so you can admire it as my collection grows on this table. And of course I've got all the princes loose. Here's Eric. That's actually the one that's in this one, the same version. I think it was from 2019. I said this doll's at a price point of $15, and the articulation, they've got joints in the in the elbows, the shoulders, the arms could swing in and out. The heads can do it 360. Can somewhat sit down. The legs are all rubbery. I've got a joint in the knees that bends just a little bit. It's kind of similar to a Barbie doll. But they feel very, very heavy. They're made very well. And they're all the Disney Store dolls are actually made in the same factory. I was able to research where they come from based on costume papers, and it's a company called Sunwing Min Industrial Co. Limited, which is located in Dongguan, China. The Disney Store does not own any toy factories, so it's all subcontractors that manufacture their products, and that's the case for all their dolls as well. Here's Prince Philip, and really love Prince Charming as well. He's the most royal looking one. Look at these, all these handsome men, wow. I was so into them when I got them, and I still love to play with them, post them, photos of them. These are simple toys that offer a lot of playtime fun. No batteries required. Just have to use your imagination and your fantasy. These are awesome. I have to lay them down here, so I'm gonna be a lot more. I collected the entire set. Here's Sam Smith. And we've got Lee Sung as well from Mulan. That's the only one that has real fabric hair. That's pretty cool. And Sam Smith, he looks great. What a man. Look at that. Wow. And what else we got? Here's Disney's first African-American prince, Naveen, complete with the cape. I love him so much. His newest face, the last face they ever did for him, looks so great. With the smaller eyes, it's got a lovely smile. I didn't like him too much pre-2015 with the old head mold, which you have seen in the packages on the top row of myself. And then here's two non-Disney Store dolls. Both are from Mattel. That's the 2009 Beast to Prince, Prince Adam. I really, really love the face. It's definitely one of my favorite Prince dolls ever. And I love the articulation in him. It's got articulation in the elbows as well. And look at these hip articulation, he can do that. But unfortunately, he didn't get any points in his knees. But Mattel has always done a great job on Disney dolls. They eventually lost the license to Hasbro, but right now it's back with Mattel, which is really amazing to see. Even though the quality has gone down a little bit, here's the live action Little Mermaid Prince Eric, and well, his face and the top part looks great. You can see they definitely spared some expense and by giving him molded on clothing. His pants are molded on. Also, his shirt, he's only got the fabric vest and the shoes are removable. Still, I'm happy to see Mattel's back at manufacturing Disney dolls. They do a really great job on the faces. And now that the Disney Store is out from the process of manufacturing the male dolls, Mattel's our only hope to release at least some of the princes. And another Disney Store prince. Here's Aladdin in his street rat costume. Oh, it's adorable. Super cute. Except the hat on his head is a little bit out of scale. I'm not sure what the designers thought. It actually covered the entire top of his head. Now that looks a little bit wacky, shall I say. And that's the last Prince Florian that they've released with a major face redesign. They redesigned the entire head. He looks absolutely great. He's got a lot of details in his hair, like they improved the hair of all the other Disney boys when they redesigned their heads in 2015. And look at his cape and everything is there. He would actually fit well onto the horse, but I keep that set in original condition with the original doll that it came with. I use this one as a separate item for playing. That's cool. And then, if you've ever wondered how these handsome men looked like when they were kids, well, there's these two dolls. If I remember correctly, that's the Tots line from Sax Pacific around 2012, if I remember correctly. They've only released 3 of the boys. One of them was Eric, and it was Prince Charming, and the other one was Eugene, aka Flynn Rider from Rapunzel. They're pretty rare, although they didn't really increase in monetary value, but they're kind of some oddballs in any Disney doll collection. I love them, they're really cute. It's like young Prince Eric and the young Prince Charming imagined what they want to be later on. It's the child versions of them. That's super cute. Let's see where I can put them. These down. These are actually really sturdy. Articulation isn't too great. Certainly their shoulders moving, their heads are turning, and there's hip articulation, but the entire outfit is removable. Oh, there's Prince Charming, looking so dapper, so royal. Let's see. Post them right there, and continuing then. It's not all male dolls that I have. Look at her. She's the Pocahontas from Applause. See, similar size like the boy princess. So of course he doesn't match. He doesn't scale with the Disney Store males, but that's okay. She's a great looking female doll, one of my favorites. Got great articulation, and her hair. I love to play with her hair. It's perfect to comb and dress. Look at that. Very high quality. It's got a rather simple outfit, of course, but it's authentic enough. The animated classic, which I think was 1995, not 1994. That's when the Lion King released. They actually had higher hopes in Pocahontas than in the Lion King, but we know how that turned out. Either way, I'll have to have this doll in my collection. That was a random find in Florida. Went to a kind of a flea market store that's got a lot of Disney items in Lakeland, I think that was. I can't remember the name. My brain's gotten really bad. But what I definitely do remember is this one here, and we're moving a bit away from the princesses and princes real quick. If you've been a teenager in the 2000s, then this one does not need any introduction. High School Musical, which was a huge hit. You're sad. That's my only High School Musical doll that I currently have. I used to have a toy as well, because I was so into them when High School Musical originally released. I really was into the boys, and I was so happy that they released not only the girls but the boys as dolls as well. It's once released by the Disney Store, if I remember correctly. Mattel did some as well. and it's got great articulation in his elbows as well. Got the rubbery legs that bend a little bit, and I love his outfit, his East High Wildcats outfit. You know that I am into school mascots and everything. The whole school spirit thing that they have at US schools is just great. Love it a lot. That's a really great likeness of the character of Ted Danforth. I definitely need to get a toy for him. Love his school spirit outfit. School spirit Ted is actually the official name of that doll. And then going back to the Princess and Princesses, here's a Snow White doll, which I bought to go with him and the horse. You remember that famous final scene in the animated classic where they ride off together. That's why I got her. She's also a Disney Store doll. The Disney Store princesses are still going on. They still make them, they still manufacture them, they still sell them online at DisneyStore.com, so they're still easy to get. They get redesigns like every year, minor redesigns on their outfits, but these are definitely timeless classics, and I think these dolls are going to be around for quite some time. Even if they stop making the princesses, they will always sell. They're always going to be around. Oh, here's another version of Aladdin, one of the earlier versions that the Disney Store did. It's in his white costume with the cape and everything. And I love the gold accents. It's the old face mold. What we got? No. Prince Philip and Eric, of course. That's actually from his famous Kiss the Girl scene. Actually, I have to save him because I've got the entire play set that's released by the Disney Store, so we'll get into that in a minute. And one of the centerpieces in my Disney doll collection is this one. It's actually a female doll, one of the princesses. We've got Princess Aurora from Sleeping Beauty here. And this doll actually was never meant for retail. They distributed these dolls at that character meal at the Grand Floridian Resort at Walt Disney World in Florida. I think it was called Princess Tea Time or something. All the girls attending would get these dolls included with the price of the character meal. And when the COVID pandemic hit in 2020, they of course had to stop these meals, these personal interactions, these character meals. And what Disney did was to sell off the remaining stock of these dolls online through the Disney Store website, and I was able to get my hands on one of these. It came in a plain blank white cardboard box, since they were never meant for retail. On site in the restaurant, they simply placed these dolls on the tables as a surprise when the guests came in, and so Disney needed to get rid of them since they wouldn't know how long it would take until they could resume these character meals. And that's how I was able to get one of these, because I've never attended that meal, and I think it was too bad that they only gave out these dolls to the girls. I mean, I love these dolls just as much as anyone else. These were made by Saks Pacific. I remember I did a separate episode on her. I love that pink dress. It's got simple fabric sleeves as well. Lots of detailing on her dress. Actually looks really, really true to the meetable character in the parks. And while I'm usually not a fan of these big, big eyes on dolls, I think face looks pretty great on her. They did a good job. It doesn't look too creepy. And look at her crown and that hair. Oh my God, I love it so much. Blonde, long hair that you can play with. That's a really unique doll in Disney Parks history. So I'm really happy to have her. Oh, love her so much. She's a great display item, and I think I'm gonna have to set her up again now that I've had her in storage for a couple of years. I think she's definitely meant to be displayed. She's got a lot of presence with her size. Pretty similar like Pocahontas. No, she's even taller. I think Pocahontas more like 15 inches and she's an 18-inch doll. Kind of like American Girl. Made by Saks Pacific, who's had license for Disney Princess as well. Or probably still have. Anyway, let's move on. And I told you I've got the Little Mermaid Kiss the Girl scene play set. Let's see. Yeah, I've got the boat. And that acts as the base. And where did I put Prince Eric? Right here. Because they needed to adapt this Eric doll a little bit and give him some more articulation. Give him plastic legs so he can actually sit in the boat like this, and that's together with this Ariel right here. They keep re-releasing this set every now and then, so it's still a way to get a Prince Eric doll. They got the rudders as well and everything. It's a little bit too clumsy to set it up, but you get the idea. It's the famous Kiss the Girl scene that you can recreate with this one. Love it a lot, and I think just like her, deserves to be displayed as well on myself, so I have to do some reorganizing. Hopefully can set them up in the future again. Love it a lot. That's a Disney Store set, as you can see. Keep an eye out. It's gonna come up on their website every now and then. And then we've only got one doll left. And this one's Prince Philip was the easiest to find from the 18-inch, the 17-inch princes that they released, the 5 of them. I think Christoph was in there as well. Philip, Eric, the Beast, Prince Florian. These were the 17-inch male dolls that the Disney Store released. Really cool. I love his uniform and everything. Look at all the details on him. Real fabric hair and everything. The price point for these dolls was $120 when they released. And it was only a couple thousand, limited edition of a couple thousand for each of them. And of course they did plenty of the princesses as well. And these are definitely a very important part of Disney Store doll history. And I'm so happy to have him. What a man, what a stud he is. Love him a lot. He's the one with the least value. So I decided to get another one. I've got a boxed one. I decided to get a loose one as well for play and display. I've got a lot of articulation as well. Proper knee articulation. The entire outfit is removable. Look at this. Look at this cape. I mean, wow. Lots of detail. They don't look very movie accurate, so it's kind of a real imagination, but it's still pretty cool. Even got articulation on their wrists. That allows for a couple poses. He came with his shield and his sword, which I have in storage in a different location. All these small items get easily lost, but he's so great. Actually, they do come with a stand as well. Right here, I can have them on proper display like that, so they won't tip over yourself. And yeah, so that's really it. The box is empty now. It's been my collection of Disney dolls. Actually, these two go together. Laura and Philip. These are all so cute, and I love to play with them every now and then. It felt so good to unpack this box actually after I had it in storage for quite some time, and I love to show off my Disney doll collection to you. Let me know in the comments if you have any Disney doll stories to share with me. What was your favorite Disney doll that you had as a child, or probably still own if you were a Disney doll collector? And I would also love especially to hear from male collectors of these dolls. I know there's plenty of us, and I know I love these dolls just as much as every girl did when they were kids. And I think I'll always remain a child when it comes to that. I love to play with toys and dolls, and I don't even care what kind of toys. As long as I can play with them, I can post and take photos and imagine stories. I'll never get too old to play with toys. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked my Disney doll collection. As I said, feel free to post in the comments about your Disney doll collection, your favorites and everything. And that was it for this episode of Kitwana's Toys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.